Hello and welcome to the ManCave live stream. Welcome back, guys. We've had a week off. Joining me from the ManCave team as ever is Mike. Hi, Mike. How you doing, mate?
It
Oh,
is very jerky.
I about to say there was a bit of a time delay there. Mike joining us from Australia this evening. This is like the old Clive Anderson show with the kind of link. So we do apologise for the video quality, but unfortunately the government investment in UK broadband and super fast connections has not really gone very well. So this is one of the products of it. So how you doing, mate? You had a little had a week off. We all had a week off last week.
It's a surprise trip to
Pausing.
Lisbon. That was
Surprise
very
trip
nice
to
because,
Lisbon.
can you hear me?
Yeah, it does. We had a big gap of nothing there for a minute, and I managed to. I was just filling in. You had a
Yeah,
surprise trip to Lisbon.
yeah. Because I turned 30. So, yeah.
Dun,
Joined that
dun,
club.
dun. It's a
So,
good
yeah,
club,
so.
man. You're in my club. I'm leaving that club soon, but yeah,
Oh,
in
wow,
my
okay.
club now.
I have no idea how old you was.
Yeah,
Just realized.
see.
Let's keep it that way. Okay.
Yeah, probably best, but I don't know. It just brings age, wisdom, and a few more aches and pains. But there you go. 30s was fun. I definitely it was like being in your 20s, but with money. It's
That's actually probably a good way to put it.
mm,
Yeah.
it's
Except,
few
I
more.
like financially, I think I skipped that decade because I've already got a kid. So
Mm.
yeah,
Well,
all that money's gone already.
yeah, it's already taken care of. Yeah, absolutely. It's already earmarked for everything. So yeah, we're going to be trying. We haven't got Andy this week. Well, we might have Andy this week. He might join all of a sudden, unexpectedly. Hopefully wearing the Judge Dredd outfit, but we can hope and dream. But
Yeah,
yeah, he won't be actually coming in this week, so it's just be us. But we wanted to actually get the format a little bit tighter. We wanted to actually focus a little bit more. The feedback that we've been getting on the show has been a bit, we're kind of like, we're spreading ourselves a little bit thin. We want to focus a little bit more, and I think keeping to single topics and then being able to talk them through is probably a good thing. So we've listened to the few people that have actually watched the show and everything, and we appreciate your comments. And yeah, we're going to try that this week. So we're going to go straight into our first topic with Mike. So Mike, if you'd like to take over.
yeah. Last weekend I was lucky enough to catch an exclusive screening of Supersonic, the Oasis documentary, directed by Matt Wycross, and produced by, as if I got that right, who's the director of Amy and Senna, two of the best documentaries I've seen in the past 5 years. So it's really good quality, good production value. It's nowhere as iconic overtones because Liam and Noel Gallagher, they're still alive. So whereas Amy and Senna had this sense of foreboding where you're like, I'm watching a documentary about these people, not going to end well. So there was always that big tragic overtone. That's a
Yeah.
big black cloud looming over throughout the documentary. This instead is focused on the meteoric rise to stardom that the Gallagher brothers, and Oasis experienced in the early to mid 90s.
Yeah.
And it keeps it focused on 3 years of their careers from 1993 to 1996 when they played at that ridiculously big gig in Nebworth, which I understand is still one of the biggest gigs
Yeah, I
ever.
do recall when they played that, and I think the only bit at the top of that was Robbie Williams. After that, wasn't it? I think he played that just
I don't
after.
think they
But
would ever admit that, but yeah, that's
yeah,
the Gallagher's. I mean, yeah.
bit of a rivalry there as well.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because rivalry is pretty much the predominant theme in this documentary because um, these two brothers are ridiculously talented, and but at the same time, their characters they clashed a lot, and their egos were both responsible for the rise to stardom for Oasis, but they were also responsible for its undoing, really, in the long run.
Hmm.
And you know, you understand watching this documentary is that Liam Gallagher is pretty much the front man. He embodies the image, it's the image of cool that it is. Unfortunately, though, the songwriter Noel is also a ruthless, egocentric control freak, whereas Liam is a bit of a loose cannon. That you get the impression sometimes he buys into more of the lifestyle of a rock star than actually buying into it as a profession.
Yeah.
So it's this is explored very, very well in the film, and it's really interesting. It's done through voiceovers because they can't stand each other at the moment. They couldn't be in the same room, so they recorded their voiceovers separately. And one of the really sweet things, though, that you notice is that they, despite the tension that's there between them right now, they say some really moving and nice, kind things about one another.
But
So
this
it's
is, I
quite
mean,
nice.
what was this? So was this actually, so this is a documentary rather than, actors playing the
Yeah,
characters.
documentary. Yeah.
Okay, so total documentary about it.
Yeah, it's made up of like stock footage. Some of it is really impressive stock footage they managed to get their hands on because the directors to track down a Japanese tourist who happened to be recording
Oh, we lost you for
the
a big
gig
second.
discovered. So they managed to get a hold of that
Okay, so they got a Japanese tourist. So those of you who didn't get
video.
that it had totally gone there for a minute. They managed to get hold of a Japanese tourist that recorded a performance that they actually managed to get for
Yeah,
the film.
yeah, very
So,
early on in their careers. So it's all grainy footage and all, but it's kind of has this retro feel. What's really also odd about this film. It makes the '90s seem like a long, long time ago when it's still
it
fresh
was
in
a
some
long time
people's.
ago.
Yeah, but it still feels very fresh in some people's memories, and mine too, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you look at these clips and you're like, my gosh, this looks ancient.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I think the '90s are having a real reemergence. I mean, it seems to be the cycle now where I'm seeing, like, out in the street. I sound like an old man here, but see out in the street, kids them dressing like we used to in the '90s, like baggy stuff, and they're kind of mixing baggy and tight. It's weird. It's kind of like, oh right,
Bring
yeah.
curtains back in next.
Yeah, well, I've seen kids actually with curtains, like people have got
Oh,
curtain cuts, and it's like, okay, right, so.
well, as long as the bowl haircut doesn't come back.
Well, yeah, I think Nefco 54 jackets can go. I think it's Paula's boutique now. But
What else is typically? Oh yeah, the wallet's attached to the little chain from your baggy
that's it.
trousers.
Yeah, so that's it. Head sports bags with. I think every girl in my school had a head sports bag that was just completely covered in writing all the time. But so
Yeah.
I remember Oasis. The only album that I owned of theirs was when What's the Story, Morning Glory went on sale at 8. I actually went in there to pick up some hip hop vinyls, and I went in early in the morning so that because they only kept a limited stock on the shelf. And so I said, right, I'll get down there early. I think it was a Biggie Smalls single that had just been released, and I thought that is just going to go because the first like 10 copies are only about £3, and then after that they bump them up to like £7 or something. So I used to get in there early. I know this was HV because they had limited stock of vinyl. So I went in there and I went in there for opening, and it was on the same day that the Oasis album was released, and they said, would you like a CD copy of Oasis album for £3.99? And I went, yeah, all right then, cool. And it is one of the best rock albums that I own, which is like totally, nice surprise. There you go.
It is.
Exactly, it is that one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
I was actually quite joining the Oasis party. I discovered them in the year 2000 with their album "Standing on the Shoulder of Giants."
Yes.
And I remember listening to "Go Let It Out" over and over again because I had the single. Then I bought the album, and the reason they caught my attention is because my dad walked past my room and he said, "You're listening to Oasis now," and he didn't. The fact that my dad knew who Oasis, the other my Oasis is, then they must be cool. So I went and I got it. Yeah.
It is nice. They did cross over. It's, I don't know whether it's coincidence or not, but is there any kind of like correlation between the Beatles have released their live documentary at cinemas, and suddenly Oasis are doing it like a month later, or a few weeks later? I was like, I wonder, that seems very convenient timing by Noel. To get that out.
Oh gosh, yeah. You know what though, as well, the Beatles link is it's funny you mention it, because I was listening to "I Am the Walrus" the other day, and when you hear John Lennon singing that, it sounds an awful lot like Liam Gallagher. Well, I should be saying the other way around. You realise Liam Gallagher's doing an impression of John Lennon, perhaps. A lot of the songs he sings. But still, no, great documentary. Really enjoyed it. If you're a fan of documentaries and of music, it's a really good watch.
I absolutely love watching the music documentaries in particular. I mean, on I think it's on BBC Four on Friday nights. They have a lot of, they seem to throw that, like, they've had Dave Grohl documentaries, they've had like the kind of old rock documentaries. Fascinating. Like Fleetwood Mac was one that I watched. It was just like, wow, all that was going on during that album. I was like, whoa, if you ever get a chance to watch that, it's brilliant. But I'll definitely take an interest in this one, because it is kind of the era that I was around. I'm going to be honest, I was into a lot of 90s hip hop, which was a golden era for hip hop, obviously. That's what I was into. But all this was happening. All my mates were dressing like them. All the mates. Oh, look. Hold on. Who's that?
Hey.
Who's that? Fully fed. Look at him.
Hello.
How you doing, Andy?
Another bottle fight, Andy.
A bottle fight?
Down the pub.
Bottle fight.
Down the pub.
Look at him.
Right.
Have you been fighting crime again? Have you been? I hope you've been using your powers for good.
Yeah.
You have. Oh, that's good. So yeah, like that. I told you, don't miss a podcast. Don't miss a live stream. So I won't tell you again. Had to give him the slap last time, but. What?
You were mentioning your. Does that lead us on to the next topic?
Oh yes, and a very convenient segue into that.
Yeah,
I think we've all been watching a bit of Luke Cage, haven't we?
I was just watching it.
We have.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how far? I mean, just say, like, each of us say. So everybody say what episode you're on, just so that we can actually get on the same level. So Andy, what episode you on?
9.
You're on 9. Okay. I'm on 5. Yeah. And where are you?
6. I'm on 6.
Okay, that's fine. So 9, 5, 6. That's fine. So we want to. It's a brand new show, so we want to keep spoiler free.
Yeah.
So I mean, I really like this show. We'll go into more detail about it together and everything about what we like about it. But at the moment, I just discovered the soundtrack it's like my personal favorites off of my iPod. It is so spot on. It's got the 90s kind of, the real soulful, real gritty hip hop with a great lyricist. They've got Group Home on there, Gangstar. There's a bit of Tribe Called Quest on there. Like Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, I got 36 chambers here on vinyl. If you go on Spotify, you can actually, there's a playlist on there. If you type in Luke Cage soundtrack, they've actually listed all of the songs that have been in all of the episodes. And it is a really good playlist. I've been listening to it today. And you also discover a few new artists, which I haven't heard. Jai Denner. which is he performed in episode 5, I believe. He was the chap on the stage in the suit at the beginning. And that was a real seriously dark kind of performance that he put in there. But this, I've never heard of this guy before, but I was like, this is pretty good. He's not from the 90s. He's a brand new artist.
I didn't. He wasn't. That wasn't for me his style.
Yeah, but like I said, it was nice to actually, kind of listen to something that's kind of lyrically driven rather than I'm not a big fan of Drake and all this kind of they're just R&B singers pretending to be rappers, to be honest.
I don't know a Drake song
exactly. So yeah. But they're that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm loving that. Right, I mean, I'm gonna hand over. What do we like this? What is the
I like
the vibe?
it. Yeah, it's a bit slow at times. I feel it's but it's good and different to the other ones that have come before it. I personally prefer Jessica Jones just because I prefer the character. I think she's more interesting with a lot more depth.
Okay.
But let's just yeah, it's good. I like it. I think he's great. I cannot remember the lead actor's name now off the top of my head.
Mike Coulter.
His voice is incredible. I want his voice. That's it. that's all I can say.
I would need a lot of
kind of
sound engineering to actually get that low. So
definitely.
Very, very. That's about low as I can go on my one if I actually engineer it. So
Christmas.
I know Christmas addicts. I was like, oh god. No, it is good. What do you think, Mike? What's your vibe? I'm going to put some pictures up on the screen so we can actually see what we're looking at on there. So, have I got that?
I really liked the reference to the original 70s costume.
Yes,
in the origin
which is what was on screen at the moment. On screen, we do have the original, and I was just like, oh, and it wasn't until after they did that I actually went and looked at the original comics.
Yeah.
And, oh, right, okay. So yeah, that happened. Yeah, it is good. I'd agree with the slow thing, and I really wasn't sure after episode 1. I thought it was way too slow. I didn't understand the way that they did it,
What's the thing? What's the thing with Luke? It's that, in all honesty, and I'm talking about the comic book character right now. In the comics, traditionally, he has not.
He's not what? Sorry, we lost all of that.
Sorry, yeah. Not the most interesting character. He is, but he was a knee-jerk reaction to Shaft in the 1970s.
Yeah.
And he was more really of a cliche, that they tried to keep alive for a while. In more recent years, in the Brian Michael Bendis years, that he better, and he's always been a more effective supporting character than his own character for his own. So done with the show is they've made it's definitely Marvel's most ambitious show. It's definitely its most it's got some serious political and social overtones, I think, to it, and that's why it feels slow at times, because they're trying to get a very socially relevant message across, I think.
Yeah,
very much.
And
So.
I'm liking that that white people are in the minority in this. It's great.
There is, I found that it is like watching a kind of throwback, isn't it? It's like it's stylized like your kind of 70s kind of Foxy Brown, like almost.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack, some parts of it.
But I mean the actual style of the actual action, and a lot of the way they shoot the way they've shot it as well, the dark kind of clubs and everything. It's it's kind of, I don't know. I feel as if I am trying. There is a lot of kind of throwbacks to that kind of style.
Yeah. No, it is. I mean, it's more a TV show about a community than a character, if you think about it. It really is. And Harlem plays a much bigger role in the show than Hell's Kitchen did in Daredevil and Jessica Jones too, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So I mean, Andy, I mean, out of kind of, I mean, with the whole kind of Marvel aspects and everything, is there a kind of a notable thing that we should look out for with Luke Cage? Is there kind of, I mean, the Cottonmouth is obviously a nemesis. There is something to do with Diamondback, which I only briefly know about. I mean, what are we kind of looking out for with this character? What are we hoping is gonna, is he going to get involved in, or are we just going to write a new path away from the graphics, do you think?
I missed the last bit there. Sorry. What?
Oh, I said, do you think, are they going to follow the line in the comic books and everything? And is there some kind of key things that we should be looking out for along that path? Or do you think they're going to forge their own way? Is the feel of the episode, you're into it a few more deeper than us.
I think they, without going too spoilery, they're going to try and forge their own path a bit more, and that's keeping in line with what happens in in Daredevil, in Jessica Jones, and discounting the rest of the MCU for now. But I think they're going to carry on with that kind of thing. Like, but what's the name of the sort of Mama character who's sort of,
Mama
I don't know if you guys have got that.
Yeah, Mama.
Yeah, that's similar. I don't know if you, but that's similar, but quite different at the same time. Yeah, that's quite interesting. And I think it's going to be things like that. It's going to be elements brought in from the comic books and kind of fit into the storyline. That's their strategy.
I think it is very ambitious of what Netflix are doing, and they are kind of setting themselves the way that the way that Disney has kind of set themselves up with the films, so that they have the ability to cross over quite a lot. Already, I've seen 2 characters from Daredevil in this.
Oh no, that is part of the wider plan. I mean, Iron Fist is the next Netflix.
Ooh.
And after that, there's going to be a Defenders crossover show late 2017. So no, there is one huge crossover plan for these 4 different TV shows.
No, I'm glad. I mean, the WB network seem to be doing quite good on the family end of the scale with their like the Flash and Arrow. And also, they had the Smallville series, Supergirl. I think all of those are doing quite well on that level. They've got Gotham for the slightly edgier thing. I think this kind of fits more into the Gotham element.
I think the Netflix shows are all superior to all of those other shows you mentioned in terms of, I'm talking about the way they're shot, the way they're acted and cast, the way they're scripted, and also in terms of, I do think they're above.
I mean,
they're also more mature shows.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Flash, more so than Arrow, but those 2 shows. But
me too.
They are cheesy at the same time. Like they
are.
No go from that.
Yeah, they're infuriating sometimes. They really are. Like, oh, come on, just stop being a worse. You've done this 8 times already. You're going to be fast enough.
I love that. I love that version of the Flash. I will not hear a word against him. He's brilliant.
It's good, but they are They are just talking about that. They are actually changing him for the films, aren't they? I thought he was going to be in the films.
No, definitely not totally separate. Yeah, no way.
So, I mean, it's an exciting time for comic books, stuff like that, and kind of like, you know, I think it's an exciting time for this, for any franchise in that genre. I mean, even Star Wars, I watched like Force Awakens the other day just to refresh myself. I've got like a year to wait until I can find out what the hell is going on there. And there's all of this content coming out for all of us, you know, you know. Yeah, well, we're now in a minority. I wouldn't even say that we're in a minority anymore. I think we're in almost the majority of people that like comic book and science fiction now. That's the way it's happened. But yeah, there's a lot of this content coming out, and obviously we're going to see a lot of this, or see elements of it at Comic Con London.
Yeah,
taking it on the road. I'm really looking forward to it, guys. You got to hold my hand now, because you know it might be scary. You have to. If I wander into some kind of enemy territory, then I've got to kind of come out of it. Like,
don't go there, Liam. That's a DC fan.
Oh no! That's this kind of stuff I'm kind of talking about. I think that might happen. Do they have kind of? Do they kind of? Does the streets part, and like, you know, they have DC Marvel wars?
Not really. It's actually it's all online, really. I mean, I've not ever been at a convention where there's been pushing and shoving over the fact that you're a Marvel or a DC.
Yeah, doesn't work that way.
No, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to you guys earlier. I really wanted to kind of like to start dipping my toe in to reading properly reading some comic books. I mean, I was going to. I mean, all the ones that you guys have been reviewing, I've gone, I must have a look at that. But then it's the minefield of what e-reader to use. Where do you get your content from? And I'm looking through reviews. Not one of the kind of authorized shops like Marvel, or you know, everybody says the readers suck, and I don't really know what to do about it. I'm still researching, but I mean, Andy, you said that you actually use e-readers. You use Comic Rack, is that right?
Yeah, Comic Rack's good, but it's only good if you've really got the DR, like digital rights media, or whatever you call it, like, you know, the copyright free versions of the book to be able to put that onto. So it's really designed for that. And if you want to keep you know, a Marvel subscription or a DC subscription, then really you can't, you know, use it for that, which is unfortunate. But, you know, it's just because they're big corporations, they don't want, you know, people getting hold of their stuff for free, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, but then again, you know, you need a kind of convenient format to you know, watch it. I mean, I'm fine in buying stuff and everything, but you know, if I'm going to buy it, I don't want it on a format that I'm just going to be like, oh, well, I don't really like this. You know, I hate reading in this style. I mean, I tried reading the Star Wars comic books on Kindle because I bought a couple of Star Wars comic books, and it wasn't ideal. The reader on there, it was, you know, I'll move this bit, I'll move that bit, right? I'll see that one. I'll wait. Am I in the right order? You know, those are the kind of things that I'm worried about doing if I actually commit to one.
I mean, this is the thing, because I really like the Comic Rack one, because it feels so fluid, and you know, like if you want to zoom in on a bit, you straight away, and then like you would an image on your phone, you know, on your tablet, it just sort of goes, and there it is, and quickly move on to the next page or the next comic. So that's really brilliant. But yeah, it's hindered by the fact that people don't tend to let their comic.
Okay, so I mean, you know, we'll continue. We'll definitely continue the journey with that one. I think it might be something that people trying to get into comic books. Like, you know, they can't. They don't want to buy the physical copies, and maybe we should look into it a little bit more and do it. By the way, your video is stopped, Andy. You have no video, so it's all just me at the moment. But we can hear you fine.
I was going to show you something as well. It doesn't matter.
Oh, hello.
We can't see anything, Andy.
Well, it's just a black screen every time we go to you.
Not safe for YouTube. My face isn't even.
I was going to say, Andy, you've got a topic to tell us. I mean, I can bring up some pictures while you're talking, so that we're not just looking at a blank screen. So I can do that for you. Oh. I say that.
It's one of my favourite films, which is The Invisible Man.
The Invisible Man.
There we go.
And Michael, you've seen this. I think we watched this together, haven't we?
I do, yeah. I remember, actually. I remember watching it at uni with you.
Oh, hold on. Have we lost him?
No, we're here.
No.
Oh, look at that.
Andy's frozen in time. But yeah, we've got the pictures up at the moment. What I'll do is I think we've still got good audio, Andy, so just carry on. I'll flip back to Mike if he.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's just a fantastic film, and it's the special effects for its era.
Okay, what year is this from? Is this the original? Is it?
1930, I believe.
And it's got Claude Rains, who, you know, a really famous actor for his time, playing a monster, playing an invisible man. So his face isn't on the screen for all of the film, basically.
Oh, we've got you back.
It's just, yeah, it's just absolutely fantastic. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at that! You got a GIF.
Sort of
I don't know. I don't know whether. Yeah, I don't know whether we get copyrighted for this, but never mind.
Yeah.
It's just a GIF, everybody. But yeah, that's because there's been a couple of attempts at this film, hasn't there? Over time, we've
Yes.
had Kevin Bacon, we've had Chevy Chase.
Oh God, Hollow Man. I like that film actually. But they are bringing the Invisible Man back, because they're bringing back all of the Universal monsters like Frankenstein.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that it's all going to be in one universe.
God, it is the late 80s, 90s. They did all that back then as well.
Yeah,
they did.
So Johnny Depp's going to be the Invisible Man in, I think, 2017 or something, 2018.
Oh, right. So, I did not know that. It actually sounds quite good, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he's quite a good pick, actually. Yeah. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, oddly enough.
Short and sweet. That's me. That's me done for this week. I did have something else. I was going to talk about the new issue of Jessica Jones really quickly, actually.
Oh yeah, because you did tell me this. Hold on, I'll put the camera on here. There you go.
Yeah. So
okay. So this is a new issue, just hot off the press.
It is. Yeah, it came out on Wednesday. It's really good, and it's got the Jessica Jones first came about, I think, the 2003, 2004. She had her own comics drawn by Michael Gaydos.
Okay.
And that team is back. So that original team. So all of the artwork looks the same as it did back in that time period, and really doesn't feel like much has changed in a way, which sounds bad, but it's really, really great, because you don't.
In this case, it's really good. Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody held me at gunpoint and said, "This Marvel graphic novel you've ever read," I would be seriously in a serious conundrum, because it would either be Devil, but Brian Michael Bendis is running it, or Alias, which is the Jessica Jones Michael Bendis wrote. Those two to me are the best. So it's good to know that they're going back to that, back to the origins in that sense.
Yeah, and it's got exactly the same feel of it. It's so it's really, really nice. I'm going to be keeping up with it, definitely. And Luke Cage is in it right at the end.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, I know, because also I'm going to watch, now that I've seen this Luke Cage, obviously I'm going to get back and finish Daredevil. I don't want to find time for all this. And I've finished Daredevil season 2. Then I've got to go see Jessica Jones. I want to watch Jessica Jones.
You haven't seen Jessica? You haven't seen Jessica Jones?
No, I haven't seen any of it.
Brilliant.
So I kind of skipped that because I've had a big and then it's but now I've got all this stuff to watch now, and also people were already swearing at me in the office because I missed Westworld the other night as well. So the new Sky Atlantic show, Westworld. Now I did want to watch that. That's the J.J. Abrams one, right?
And Jonathan Nolan, yeah.
Yeah, Jonathan Nolan. So I mean, I'm gonna tape it next week, but I'm gonna have to watch this. I've got so much to watch, man. I'm gonna have to slack off the DIY. I think for if I'm gonna get all this.
Do you know what I'm doing with Westworld? I am just not going to watch it until all the episodes are up online, so then I can just watch them all
Are
on
you gonna
Now
binge?
TV, and I'm going to binge it. I can't watch any more shows like one episode a week. I can't do that. I really can't.
Yeah, I kind of understand where you're coming from with that. It's like I haven't with the Game of Thrones, I didn't enjoy it as much as when I actually knew that I could watch a whole season.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
it is
Yeah.
it is nice to have a story.
Yeah, I still like watching episode by episode now. I prefer that.
Okay.
So that's just me. I'm weird.
Yeah, see, my wife is saying. I mean, that's the only reason we watch Game of Thrones when it's on like week after week because she really wants to do it. But to be honest, I could just leave it and then watch a big chunk. I do that with Walking Dead. I kind of wait about 4 or 5 weeks and then I watch it and I just binge and it's nice. So, I think that starts up again soon. So, mate, it's just like, just forget about it. I know it's getting colder. I'm freezing. I'm really cold today. I'm like, I've got the heating on and everything. It's not good. I'm sitting in a jumper as well. But yeah, so winter's definitely here. Is the message for 2016? It's here in reality and it's here in the world of Game of Thrones. So, cool, guys. It's been brilliant. And you know, we're gonna. I think that's a wrap for us. It's been a good chat. We will be trying to come back to our Tuesdays. This was just a one-off Thursday broadcast. But yeah, thank you very much. And like I said, I think I can't wait to do it again next week. And we'll continue on some of the storylines of getting our comic book fix. Do you know what I'm digging out? I'm going to dig out my Marvel Transformers collection because I do actually have a stack like that of Marvel Transformers comics from the 80s. And it is my only comic book collection. So I'm going to dust that off because I do remember the artwork in that being awesome. So cool. All right. Well, it's goodbye from me.
Right.
Thanks for having us.
All right, then, guys, take it easy. And we'll see you guys next week on the next live stream of ManCave.
YouTube.
Peace.